जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपी जन बल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय गोपी जन बल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदनंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। जमुना तीरा वनचारी। जमुना तीरा वनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा गोपीनाथ राधा गोपीनाथ राधे। प्रभुपाद 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 जय प्रभुपाद। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिविगाचार्य अष्टोत्तर से ऐसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी जगत गुरु शिल प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य श्रीदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयामुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भागवते उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भक्ति नैष्ठिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंद गोप कुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। We are reading today from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 9, verse number 3, chapter entitled Brahma's Prayer for Creative Energy. Nataha Param Param Yad Bhavata Yad Bhavataha Swarupam Manandam Matram Avikalpam Avidhavarcha Paschami Vishvasrajam Ekam Avishwam Atmanam Bhutendriyatmaka Madasta Upasrito Asmi Mataha Param Paramayad Bhavata Swarupam Ananda Matram Abhikalpam Avidyavarcha Pashyami Vishvasrajam Ekam Avisham Atman Bhutendriyatmak Madasta Upasrito Asmi Nata Param Param Yad Bhavavatah Swarupam Anand Matram Abhikalpa Avidha Varcha Paschami Vishvasraja Sajam Ekam Avishvatmanam Bhutendriyatmaka Madasta Upasrito Asmi Nata Param Param Yadvata Swarupam Anand Matram Abhikalpam Avidyavarcha Paschami Vishvasajam Eka Avishwam Atman Bhutendriyatmak Madasto Pashrit O Asmi
Bhagatam Param Pamyat Bhavata Swarupam
Nana Andimaka Vikalpa Vistruvarcha Paschami Vishvasmeka Vishvat Atma Bhutendriyatma Katmata Mata Param पश्यामि विद्यामेकममात्मन् भूतेन्द्रियात्मा मदसदोपासितोऽस्मि. माता जी, ना, do not, ataha param, hereafter, parama, O Supreme, yat, that which, bhavata, of your Lordship, Swarupam, eternal form, Anandamatram, impersonal Brahman effulgence, Avikalpam, without changes, Avidya Varcha, without deterioration, of potency. Pasyami, do I see, Vishwasrajan, creator of the cosmic manifestation, Ekam, one without a second, Avishwam, and yet not of matter, Atman, O Supreme Cause, Bhuta, body, Indriya, senses, Atmaka, on such identification, Madaha, pride, Te, unto you, Upasritaha, surrendered, Asmi, I am. O my Lord, I do not see, translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. O my Lord, I do not see a form superior to your present form of eternal bliss and knowledge. In your impersonal Brahman effulgence, in the spiritual sky, there is no occasional change and no deterioration of internal potency. I surrender unto you because whereas I am proud of my material body and senses, your Lordship is the cause of the cosmic manifestation, and yet you are untouched by matter. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 1855, Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavan yas yasmi tattvataha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead can only be partially known and only by the process of devotional service to the Lord. Lord Brahma became aware that the Supreme Lord Krishna has many, many eternal blissful forms of knowledge. He has described such expansion of the Supreme Lord Govinda in his Brahma Samhita 5.33 as follows. Advaita Achutam Anadi Ananta Rupam Adyam Purana Purusha Navaryauvanam Cha Vedesu Durlavam Adurlavam Atma Vakto Govinda Madi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is non-dual and infallible. He is the original cause of all causes. Even though he expands in many, many forms, although he is the oldest personality, He is very youthful, unaffected by old age. The Supreme Personality of Godhead cannot be known by academic wisdom of the Vedas. One has to approach the devotees of the Lord to understand Him. The only way to understand the Lord as He is by devotional service to the Lord, or by approaching the devotees of the Lord, who always has the Lord in his heart. By devotional perfection, one can understand that the impersonal Brahma Jyoti is only a partial representation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Lord Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, and that the three Purus expansions in the material creation are his plenary portion. In the spiritual sky of Brahma Jyoti, there is no change of various kalpas or millenniums, and there are no creative activities in Vaikuntha world. The influence of time is conspicuous by its absence. The rays of transcendental body of the Lord, the unlimited Brahma Jyoti, are undeterred by the influence of material energy. In the material world, also, the initial creator is the Lord Himself. He brings about the creation of Brahma, who becomes the subsequent creator, empowered by the Lord. Om Ajnanati Mirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshur Nimitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimade Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namne. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Desa Tarane. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Sadi Gaur Bhakta Binda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. I want to thank you all for coming this morning to Sri Radha Gopinath Temple, for taking part in this wonderful divine service of listening to Srimad Bhagavatam. I also want to thank my god brother, His Grace Braj Mohan Prabhu, when I was sitting in Bhaktivedanta Hospital with him, and he inspired me to that I should have not been speaking for a long time, so please. So that time itself I consented to, because somehow I feel I should not be taking away your time without offering something which is beneficial to you all. So he engaged me in this service, and I also want to thank the temple management for engaging me in this divine service of for my, of course, own purification. His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj wants that when we want to do any seva, whether this or any, and if we are out of the seva, if we are looking at to make ourselves famous, then it is like watering the weeds. And if you are thinking, performing this seva for your own purification or making some difference through your talk in the life of people, or you are making the Supreme Personality of Godhead or His devotees or the process of devotional service famous, then you are watering the seed. And while such watering, your bhakti grows. And with that hope, I am seeking blessing from all my devotee friends, whether young or old, or whether sitting here or listening on the net to please bless so that I can do some justice to this service. Because without the blessing, Maharaj also wants us that if you disconnect with blessings, then you are spiritually disempowered. So Srimad Bhagavatam is the real asset. After Krishna departed, then for the Jiva of Kali Yuga, he left Srimad Bhagavatam. So it is said that in the month of Bhadra, which is going on just now, if we place Srimad Bhagavatam on the golden throne and also distribute, then our door for the Dibya Dham opens wide. So please take advantage of distributing Bhagavatam, studying Bhagavatam, and trying to live with the principle of Srimad Bhagavatam. In this section of Srimad Bhagavatam, Lord Brahma, after having blessing of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, now he is fully surcharged with the mode of passion to do the service of creation. Only through the service of performing tapasya, he could understand the position of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, his beauty, opulence, and many other things. And while I was studying, when I went back to the previous sloka, somehow the mind is so that it gets entangled in something what you have never really thought before. So it happened with me. So I was just wondering, how can somebody who creates knows that is going to be destroyed? We are talking of Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. And Brahmaji is offering prayer. And in this particular shloka, we learn the cause of cosmic manifestation is the Lord, and yet he is untouched. What is mentioned here? Vishwasrajam, and then Avishwam. You are creating, and at the same time you are not the matter. You are not untouched. And when this kind of a bewilderment comes, we are saved by first line of Srila Prabhupada. Don't try to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead with your intelligence. What he said, Srila Prabhupada brings us the point that Supreme Personality of Godhead can only be partially known, and only by the process of devotional service to the Lord, or by approaching the devotees of the Lord who always has the Lord in his heart. It is a practice in the pious family, especially in India, to offer prayers. It is a culture. But sometimes, or most of the time, it is like a gayan, or it is like a ritual. Although you are sitting here or listening, you will be able to relate what I am trying to say. And you all know this. You know what it is? What is the prayer usually sung almost every day in a pious family? Vishay vikar mitao, पाप हरो देवा, श्रद्धा भक्ति बढ़ाओ, संतन की सेवा. ओम जय जगदीश हरे. Really, prayers alone has very little value unless it is backed by the process prescribed by the previous Acharya. We have heard many times, and people take great joy and also get emotional when they sing so-called devotional practices. What they say? जिस वक्त प्राण जाए कोई रोग ना सताए, blah blah blah. It is a prayer again. But what the acharyas are teaching us, oh my Lord, whether you embrace me or make me broken hearted, I just want to serve you unconditionally. How do we live our life will determine what destination we are going to be going to. This is the special contribution of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, that he gave us the process with such clarity how we can get rid of our anartha and strengthen our shraddha through the process of serving the Santa or the devotees of the Lord, so that we can perfect our life. Vishay Vikar will go away as soon as our Shraddha, through the process of 9 process of devotion service, and beginning with hearing what we are doing today. Hearing brings us to observation, and then we get into practice, and after the practice we experience something, and when we experience something, then we share. And this is the process will take us to pure devotional service. And hearing is most important. And what is conducive, we learn through hearing, what is conducive for pure devotional service, so that we can understand what prayer Brahmaji is offering the Supreme Personality of Godhead. What bewildered us will be very clear when we follow the process of devotional service. And what are the obstacles? So we need to address what? Be careful of aparadh, take care of avidya, and take care of, save ourselves from anartha. Then our devotional service will be in place. So we will try and discuss a few pastimes and some instruction given by Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself, or through His dealing, or through His devotees, especially during the testing time, reversal, adversities, when we are in an angry mood, or when we are a kind of a mood of a hatred towards anyone, especially while endeavoring to discharge devotional service. When we all endeavoring, right? As a devotee, sadhaka, what do we ask every day? Through the chanting of the holy name of the Lord. O Srimati Radhani, O Krishna, please engage me in your devotional service. And most of our services, except the chanting the holy name of the Lord, which is also required to be, if one more effective chanting, to be chanted with the devotees. So most of our services are not done alone. We got to be with the devotees, along with the devotees. And while doing this service, one propensity of finding faults is the easiest thing. In fact, it is the nature of a conditioned soul to find fault in another. And we do not even spare the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In Krishna Leela, in the story of Samantaka jewel, we all know how Krishna was accused. And his only fault was that this Samantaka jewel should be with the king, Maharaja Ugrasen. And he has to face. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was not spared. Ramachandra Puri told him that how it is, can a sannyasi of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu eat so much of sweet? Then we talk about Amoga, accusing him that how much he eats, which is enough for 12 men to eat, and he consumes so much. So the Lord himself was not spared. And during the Rath Yatra festival, one of the most desirable service, devotional service, is being offered for the pleasure of the Lord amongst the greatest devotees in a very organized, structured way under the supervision of Supreme Personality of Godhead. 7 circles are formed, and within the circle there are circles, and excellent dancing of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is going on. You all have heard this pastime, but we are trying to get out of this by meditating upon an aspect of strengthening our devotional service. So what is happening? King Prataparudra, keeping his hand on his servant, his name is Hari Chandan. Now, he is engrossed in watching the wonderful, sweet dancing of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And somehow he sees that this view is obstacled by the movement of Srivas Thakur. So he kind of tell him to get aside. And the second attempt, he kind of pushed him. Now, when it happened, Srivas Thakur, Chapada marila tare kela nivaran, Chapade khana kruddha haile Harish Chandana. Now, in a devotee community, when you are such an advanced soul, when something like this happens, and naturally they want to get disturbed. अगर डिवोटी सर्कल में ही ऐसा होता है तो प्रभु फिर क्या बात में दूसरी जगह क्या होगा? It is natural, right? So Harichandan got angry. But I was listening to a recent Zoom session of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, the last one. At the end of the session, a question was asked to His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. The question was, what is the most difficult thing that can come in our way of discharging devotional service or submitting to Supreme Personality of Godhead? The Maharaj said, not that, oh, lust only, O Arjuna. Maharaj said, distraction. Distraction is the cause. Sometimes we are distracted by success, sometimes distracted by failure, distracted by honor or dishonor, distracted by pleasure and pain. I heard one sannyasi speaking, quoting Dalai Lama. He said, you got to be very, very, very lucky sometime to not to get what you have prayed or desired. This is what His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj said, and these are the distractions. And he also gives us how you can overcome. So he says, the only way that you can overcome through the association of advanced devotees of the Lord. Here, Hari Chandan is having that luxury of associating with an advanced devotee who appears to be a king. So what Hari Chand heard from this king, Bhagyavan tumi Ishara hastar sparsa paila, amara bhagya nahi tumi karthad haila. You are fortunate, Harichandan. Harichandan, you are fortunate. You are touched by Srivas Thakur, and I am not so fortunate. This is what we should be aspiring from. Because in this material world, Dukhalaya, Saswatam, situations like these are, even in devotee community and devotee circle, are bound to come. Our safety, our real wealth is then when we are around the suggestion, the guidance, the right Siddhanta will come to us from a junior, equal, elder. So remaining in the circle of devotee is the key point what His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj mentioned. In the 4th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, when Vidur Maharaj inquired Maitreya Muni, you were mentioning something about the sons of the Prachin Varisat and how they perfected their life simply by following the song given by Lord Shiva. Kindly tell me something about them, how they pleased the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he said, yes, they sang the song, they performed the tapasya for 1,000 years, but let's hear what pleased the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I will read only the translation. Maybe the time will not permit to cover all pastimes, so I'll run through what the Lord said. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, my dear sons of King, I am very much pleased by your friendly relationship among you. All you are engaged in one occupation. So Lord is pleased. And why is pleased? Because your friendly relationship. And all of you are engaged in one occupation. And what is that occupation? Devotional service. And I am so pleased with your mutual friendship that I wish that you all a good fortune. Now you may ask me benediction. It is worthwhile reading the purport what His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada gives in this connection. The unity of the individual soul attempting to satisfy the Supreme Lord or rendering service to the Lord is real unity. In the material world, such unity is impossible. Even though people may officially unite, they all have different interests. In the United Nations, for instance, all nations have their particular national ambition. This purport is written 60 years ago. And all they have their own agenda. Some has tariff, some has penalty, some has banned. Prabhupada is writing at that time. And consequently, they cannot be united. Disunity between individual soul is so strong within this material world that even a society of Krishna consciousness, members sometimes appears disunited due to their having different opinion and leaning towards material things. That is the cause. Actually, in Krishna consciousness, there cannot be two opinions. There is only one goal, to serve Krishna to the best of one's own ability. If there is some disagreement over service, such disagreement is to be taken as spiritual. It required higher intelligence to understand. Those who are actually engaged in the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead cannot be disunited in any circumstances. This makes the Supreme Personality of Godhead very happy. How you can perform devotional service when you make the Lord happy, or His devotees happy, or follow the process given by the previous Acharya. And then what he says, those who remember, Prabhupada, in the translation it is mentioned, those who remember this pastime of Prachetas every evening, they will be friendly with the brothers and with all other living entities. Whatever we are trying to, are we talking the spirit of this pastime? What is the spirit? That if we live in a friendly relationship with one another and discharge our duty, that will please Whether it's a teaching of Srimad Bhagavatam or Ramayana or Chaitanya Charitamrita, that is the spirit of what we are trying to learn. In Ramayana also, to get rid of a big anartha, it is prescribed, Puruso Ramacharitam Sravaner Upabhyaranam Asansaya Paro Rajan Karma Bander Vimuchate. Parikshit Maharaj is saying, anyone who orally received the narrations concerning the characters of Lord Ramchandra pastime will ultimately be freed from the disease of envy and thus be liberated from the bondage of fruitive activities. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Ram, is playing the role of Maryada Purushottam. And he also passed through crisis in his life and he was lamenting. In my last class, I have already given a detailed talk about this, but today I'm trying to touch another aspect of this pastime. Now, here he is the elder brother and he is being guided by the younger one. My Lord, you have lost Sita. Please don't lament like this, the way you are doing. This is a distraction. And such distraction, even if such situation like distraction, even if we have our younger brother or younger devotee, when we are surrounded, when they are in jungle, when they are in association, that person will tell us, oh my Lord, I am awaking your own knowledge which you have lost due to separation of Mother Sita. So I am reminding. So when we are in the association of a devotee, we have a chance to overcome the impediment which are thrown upon us through the situation we come across in time. Our Shatrughan. Shatrughan was also very angry. He was so much angry that he wanted to kill Manthara. But he was in association with Bharat. So Bharat protected him. Bharat said, what you want to do actually, you want to kill Manthara, I want to kill Kekai. But he was in association with the teaching of Lord Ram. And he was thinking, will it please the very person I want to please? Or my hope of getting him back will also be lost. My continuation of devotional service, if we get bewildered by such a situation. So what really mattered to him was, who are they angry for? Not who are they angry with. That is what. So when we want to get rid of the anartha, hate, complaint, anger, annoyance, we have to go deep into this particular section of Sri Ramayana, especially the section of Bharat Milap. Bharat Milap also we have spoken. Generally, it is perceived that Bharat Milap is over. As soon as when the Supreme Personality of Godhead tells Bharat, O Bharat, the kingdom what you have come to offer me, I have accepted this. Now, on my behalf, please rule it. And Bharat in turn requests Ram to give his Paduka, and Ram gives his Paduka, and Bharat Milap is over. But what, for me, I may have read Ramayana many times, but at the same time I have to accept for several years I missed some very, very vital, important teaching which I came to know through the narrations of my Guru Maharaj. When he introduced me to the real character of Jatayu, or real character of Sabri, or Anusuya, or Tara or Sugriv, Hanuman, or even Kekai. Just like this here, after hearing his narration from Gurudev and witnessing his dealing and respect for the other soul, I kind of could not miss this part of Bharat Milap, which we are going to be discussing just now. Ram had to give a very, very important lesson in this last part through Bharat. What he says, Maya cha Sitaya cheva sapato asi Raghunandana. Now, you have to get into the scene. What is the scene Valmiki Ramayana describing here? Supreme Personality of Godhead is crying with tears. The tears are rolling down. And mind you, these tears are not tears of separation, because he is getting separated from his beloved brother. These tears are of compassion. What is that compassion? And to understand this compassion, we also have to see the gravity of this message. What is the gravity? Please note that in the entire Ramayana, as far as I know or remember, Ram has never given Sogandh of his own or of his beloved wife Sita to anyone to achieve something. And what is he saying? Maya cha Sitaya cheva sapto asi Raghunandana. Oh Bharat. And what is he saying? Matram rakshakekayam ma rosham kurutam prati. Ram is crying, tears flowing from his eyes, and he's saying, my dear Bharat, I give you my own Sogandh and Sita's Sogandh. Please pay respect and love to Mother Kekai. Please have no hate or anger towards her. Now, this gives a very important lesson. It is impossible to perform our devotional service. What we pray, Mama Janmani, Janmani, Ishware, Bhaktar, Bhakti. And here, to run the kingdom of the Lord, Ayodhya, on behalf of the Ram, for 14 years, with this mentality in your mind, that you have questioned about Mother Kekai. How you will be able to perform this service on my behalf when you have hate, anger, issue, complaint, blame? And if you are, even if you are as great as Bharat, even if you are brother of the Supreme Lord Sri Ram, or even if you are disciple of so-and-so Guru, or even if you have lived in Krishna consciousness for 30, 40 or 50 years, you cannot be in this state and discharge devotional service. This is what Ram is trying to teach us. Imagine with these anartha, we are all sadhaka, practicing devotees, being bound by our material conditioning, and we are making efforts following some principle of devotional service. This is our background. And now, imagine that we are holding a plate which is filled with flour, and we want to offer to Sri Radha Gopinath. Both our hands, one is representing our efforts of devotional service, and the other representing holding the fireball of anartha. And because we are overpowered by material consciousness, the fire of hate is bound to devour our budding efforts of devotional service. Can we really offer that flower arti to Sri Radha Gopinath ji in the consciousness in which it should be offered? Or will their lordship really accept that offering? That is the question we need to ask to ourselves. Bharat was burning. What he was thinking? Each day was painful for him. She is responsible. I lost my father because of... My father had some bad thinking about me, that I am the party in this plot. Because of her, Ram left. Because of her, my Bhabi left. Because of her, Lakshman left. And I am deprived of serving my worshipable Lord Sri Ram. And she is responsible for that. This is the mood Bharat was carrying, how he can run Ayodhya on behalf of his beloved master Sri Ram for 14 years. शीतल बने आग चंदन के जैसी, राघव कृपा हो जो तेरी। युग युग से प्यासे को तकदीर ने जैसे जी भर के अमृत पिलाया, ऐसा ही सुख मेरे मन को मिला है, मैं जब से शरण तेरी आया मेरे. This is what His Grace Prahlad Priya Prabhu was referring to when he was talking about the beauty of Chandan. And this is exactly what happened with Bharat. He was burning. And with this kind of a narration and instruction, gave him a clear-cut picture how he should be ruling, how he should be performing this devotion service when we have this kind of attitude towards rendering devotional service with this kind of teaching. The conversation is happening between Vidur and Maitreya. What Vidur went through, his only fault was what? He wanted all good for Hastinapur, and therefore he kind of reminded his brother, oh my dear brother Dhritarashtra, your son is the personification of offense, and he has taken panga with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. Please check him. And Duryodhan gets wild on this. Oh Sutputra, how did you open your mouth? How dare did you open your mouth? He should be asked to leave the kingdom only with breath and nothing. He keeps his bow and arrow. Please know, Vidur is a param devotee. But these words, what went in his ears, also went to his heart. But he did not keep them. Why? Because he looked at, this is the arrangement of the Lord. Now I have the opportunity. What I can do? I can associate with Santa, Santan ki seva. I can visit the holy places. And this is exactly what he did. So that temporary phase of disappointment, hearing those words coming, piercing the heart, really took very good care of this is going to happen to all of us at all the time in this material world. Even if we are discharging devotional services with all good intention, these are the austerities of another example, what Braj Vihari Prabhu was speaking the other day. And he said, Prabhupada did not find his hard labor of devotional service of 12 to 13 years. He had written commentary on Bhagavad Gita and he lost it. Temporary, bahut ho gaya. Many times, Prabhupada, this is too much, I can't handle. But his instruction was with him, of his Guru Maharaj. And therefore, he started writing again the commentary on Bhagavad Gita. So when we have this kind of a teaching, this kind of association, then we will only think that whatever is happening to me is the desire of the Lord. And sometimes we will think it is blessing of the Lord. Sometimes somebody will remind us. People, devotee will not remind this. But through the teaching, we will think, yeah, it is my own karma. Or sometime we'll get a realization, oh, but the Lord is so merciful that He has only given me as a token. Or sometime it is to purify me. Or sometime we will get it. It did not happen to me. It happened for me. And in that situation, what I should do? I should continue without disturbance my devotional service and depend on the mercy of the Lord. That would be the devotional service. Then we will be able to understand what Srila Prabhupada is talking about, how you can understand the process of devotional service, through the process of devotional service. I have my time, but what I want to say, taking inspiration from these narration, see, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is important that I mention this because I was trying to skip. When he was giving the Sikshastakam in the Anta Leela section, and there are some slokas which are relevant to today's talk. The Uttamahana Vaishnava Have Nirabhiman Jive Samman Dive Jani Krishna Adhishtan. A Vaishnava is the most exalted person. He is prideless and gives all respect to everyone, knowing everyone is to be the resting place of Sri Krishna. This is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says. And then after this, what is his mood? Kahite kahite Prabhu Denyam Vadila Shuddha Bhakti Krishna Tani Mangite Lagila. Mangite Lagila. Now what is the mood? As the Lord spoke in this way, his humility increased and he began praying to Krishna. He could discharge pure devotional service. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu playing a role of a devotee, teaching us that when you are humble, when you, in this humble state of mind, when we pray that these anarthas, through vidya, through the sadhu sang, if I can get rid of, the only way I can, by following the process prescribed by the previous acharya in the association of devotee, is only possible. Because this will remind us, Tathe Anukampa. This will remind us the real test of a devotee is when he or she put into provoking circumstances, how he or she react to the situation. Remembering the dealing of Srila Prabhupada with devotees, remembering the dealing of Gurudev with the devotees. Hope someday we will be able to assist, I will be able to assist in their service to their Guru, my service to my Guru, which will be called devotional service. So I thank you all for your patience hearing, and thank you. Hare Krishna.